Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Expert Division with the qualifying round win for the Star Spangled Tournament here in Golf Clash and the game. Make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that do want to take the next step in your game, you go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy where you scan the QR code here on the screen and get any of our ultimate tournament guides or exclusive tour text guides. The qualifying round guide for Pro, Expert and Master are out, so make sure to get your package and get ready to kick some butt in the tournament already. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it. Last but not least, make sure to subscribe to Brandon Burke. You do have the link to his YouTube channel in the description down below. The creations is a mix of his and myself, so make sure to subscribe and support his work. Now, let's go to hole 1. So on the drive, start with the quarterback, and what we're looking for is to have the white ring to the left by the rough line. And we are going to play this with a POC and Cataclysm bag. You can play this one with an POC 5 if you would like, but don't go lower than that in my opinion. 2 left spin, 4.5 bar top spin, adjust max plus 10 P5, and then we're going to go 3 rings of overpower always, and it will always be with a very slow needle. Great left, great right has been fine. A perfect is obviously what we're looking for. And then bouncing down, and you can see here that rollout is the glitch rollout, which is a little bit scary. It gets us close to the rough, especially if you have too much overpower on, you might roll into the rough, so be careful with that. We're going to be somewhere between 365 to 385 yards. That's a big range, but that's definitely something that we can't really control. What needs to be said as well though, is like if you're getting shorter drives around 360, we're gonna have to use a little bit of overpower on the second shot, but I'd rather take that than doing a bounce over on hole 1, which is one of the most terrible holes in the game. On the second shot, we're going to go for a rough bump with our cat, and now you maybe are thinking, why go with the Cataclysm when we're not close to max distance? That's because we can't really control the drive's outcome. We will sometimes come in a little bit shorter with our drive, and therefore we are then using the cat to make sure that to not have any problems with the shorter drives. Look to have the ball guideline just slightly through the hole. I'm moving a bit left into the rough, and the reason I'm moving left into the rough is to avoid the glitchy spot, so looking for a firm and consistent spot there into the rough. 2 bars of top spin and a little bit of left spin. The left spin will vary depending on where you are. So it's gonna be a lot of moving parts on the second shot, but the spot you find, if you do not find the glitchy spot, is very consistent and gives you a very good chance for an eagle in my opinion. We're using landing position here, and we're gonna use plus 11 as our base, and that's going to be 100% slider plus 5% elevation. Minus 5% elevation P5 numbers, and when it comes to once again hole number 1, we're playing with a wind 4 power 5 side spin 2 ball. So for a more, what can we say, a special ball option here on hole number 2, we're gonna go max backspin and 4 backspin boost. Now you can see that I'm looking to be in complete max distance with my rocket level 10, and I'm gonna look to have the tip of the ball guideline to fall down just to be by the line in between the dark and the bright green square row. Once we have done that and found that spot, we are going to adjust 1 to 1 minus 1, so it's a 4.2 ring for 5.2 miles per hour. This angle is not going to be any tweaks whatsoever, and also very important to notice we are going to pull over bullseye. Center the ball and hit perfect, and this will give you a very good chance for a drop. To end up the video here to explain a little bit why not going for a rough bump. With this wind coming left to right with a slight tailwind, we are just so high up, which makes it very easy to miss the rough, and then we go out of bounds, and then we, you know, not even getting a birdie. So with the bounce over we already have, and with this as a backup, definitely gives you two solid options to attack the pin for an hole-in-one. Hole number 3, blast option. This is an option for Apocalypse level 6 plus, not for the Apocalypse below. Stretch out to max, find the yellow ring by the rough line with Apoc 8, obviously with standard overlap with Apoc 7 and Apoc 6. Adjust is going to be max plus 10 P5, and we're playing with an owl ball, or with the other season 47 ball, I think it is, or something like that. It's with topspin boost 4 and side spin 1. So we're gonna use all the topspin, all the boost, and we're gonna go all the curls. So it's gonna be no side spin, pushing up in this angle. We're pushing up 8 rings with Apocalypse 8, bouncing on the fairway. Now we need to be a little bit lucky to roll through the rough. There will be times where you're not rolling through the rough, but then you have a very short rough iron as well towards the pin. And if you do roll through for an end bringer, you play the end bringer at plus 25% elevation, P5 with no spin, which definitely a very makeable one. For those that do want to have a little bit more shaky needle, you can also play with a sheriff ball. Forgot to say that from the beginning, because we are not going to push above plus 24 many of the times. So I mean, this is an alternative option. We're spending a good ball. And the only risk we really have here is that we will be stuck by the rough, in the rough by the green, and the reward could be that we are on the green or just for a short wedge towards the pin. Hole number 4, this is a very good chance for a drop. We're going to use the Guardian, 8 backspin and 1 left spin, and now we're going to look and have our focus on 2 things. One, that is with the red ring by the fringe line, and then together with the second bounce to be just by the top of the dark green square, just in between the bright and the dark green square row. So it's a bit finicky, but it's once finding that, you will see yourself having a very solid chance for a drop here. Adjustment is going to be max plus 15, power 1 ball settings, center the ball and hit perfect, and a drop here will be very possible. We haven't noticed any need of wind angle tweaks here, as we come into a very nice spot there by the green dead center for a hole-in-one here on hole number 4. The drive start with a quarterback in NMT and a power 3 ball. Then we swap to an Apocalypse and Grizzly bag. It doesn't matter if it is Apocalypse 4 or better. 3.5 top spin, half a bar of right spin here. We do recommend to play with any power 3 or better ball. This to prevent us going into overpower, but also to have enough for the fringe check on the second shot. So here, if you want to spend any power 4 or power 5 ball, you know, by all means. Adjustment is done. Make sure to use whatever overpower you you adjust into as overpower, if that would happen. Could happen in the highest possible wind with a P3 wind 3 ball, and it would most likely happen with an Apocalypse level 4. Looking to be around 315 to 320 yards. Right, second shot, we're gonna play with our Grizzly, and now we're gonna do a fringe check where the fringe meets the green. You can see that there it's plus 3. We do have our base at plus 5, and plus 5 is going to be 50% slider with a minus 5% elevation, P3 numbers. When it comes to The setup, the rest of the setup is that you're gonna move your target without spins to have the red ring to be just by the rough line, with the ball guideline going one green square past the hole, and then you will have to correct with a little bit of a right spin or left spin to get the ball guideline to overlap in the left side of the cup. Adjustment is done, center the ball and hit perfect, and this is going to be a very good chance for a drop. For the drive, we're going to play with a luminary, and we're going to play with the blue ring by the wood. 2 top spin, 2 left spin, and we're looking to have rock 9 at +2 with the ball guideline to be just before it shows it rolls long into the rough. If you play with rock 8, it's going to be at +3. Adjustment is going to be max +10 power 2 numbers, and we're going to apply half a ball of left curl. Very important that you are not using any overpower or underpower here, so I'm not using the circle drop method with the curl applied, so I'm playing just with the normal way. Bounce into the rough and roll out nicely on the fairway, and from here we're gonna attack the green with the Guardian. Second shot is a very safe shot. You can hit whatever great right or great left and you will still be on green. The funny part with this shot is that you actually have a little chance for an albatross, but you need to be very lucky. Stretch out to max to find the blue ring to be just by the sand in complete stretched out. Then you're going to adjust minus 30% elevation min numbers. So in this case we are adjusting 4.1 rings. Then we go max overpower, and we're gonna try to hit perfect, because a great left will go very high up the hill and it will miss high. It's very easy to miss high, and once again you're gonna have to be lucky to get this one to drop. But as we're playing with all the backspin, and we're gonna play with 0.8 bar of right spin, it's going to give ourselves this very easy way to be on green and have a simple eagle with an outside chance for an albatross. So, start with a power 3 ball in complete minimum distance. Pack the sniper to in an easier way find it. I'm looking at the second bounce before spin with the red ring by the bunker. Looking at the second bounce before spin is easier for me to do. Now, I'm using backspin based on wind strength. So 5.9 backspin and 3 right spin. And this is going to be an angle where we're going to call for 2 clicks of left curl. Adjustment is going to be max plus 15% elevation, power 3 ball settings. Center the ball, add your tweaks, and this is a really nice creation. I'm really enjoying playing this hole. I usually struggle with this one big time. Perfect ball it is, and bounces nicely on the fairway, on the green, and then takes the turn right at pin for a beautiful hole-in-one here on hole number 7. Hole number 8, blast option. We're gonna go for a green, and we're gonna stretch out to max. We're gonna look for the transparent ring by the tree, and that with Apocalypse level 8. Then we're gonna look for wind angle. This is what we're gonna have in the guide as the yellow angle, which is more crosswind, which is the one that you don't want to have live, obviously, because you want more tailwind, which means a slower needle. We do recommend to have wind above 10 miles per hour here, and this because otherwise it will be a little bit tricky in the lower winds, as we do want to keep the 7 bars of topspin to prevent from glitch rolls and stuff like that. Pushing up 9 rings in this angle using the center line halfway into the wall, 7 topspin and 2 right spin trying to hit perfect. A great left, a great right, and a perfect has been fine. I would expect a great right to always roll over the green like this, a perfect sometimes and sometimes not, whereof a great left will clip the rough twice and land either on green or just short of green. But it's no biggie getting over the green like this. We have a simple wedge here towards the pin. The wedge plays no spin or with max top spin if you do have Embringer 7 or 8. So the no spin plays EV School plus 15% elevation P5, and when it comes to the max top spin with Embringer 7 and 8, it plays minus 35% elevation, minus 40% elevation P4 is the correct there to have. Now the wedge was sloppy, just so I can talk over and actually explain the adjustment there. It's still a simple short wedge, and I mean, even if you're not that accurate, you will still get it to drop for an eagle. So what we want to do here is to try to have the wind between 7 and 7.5 if possible. I would switch between wind 3 and a wind 4 power 5 ball here, such as playing with a luminary here. But if I would be having a wind up around 8, 8.5, 9, I would swap to a Ryder Cup ball or something similar to that with the wind 4 side spin to P5. 2 right spin, all the top spin that you do have, and we're gonna go full slice to the right with the max overpower. Goal here is to land approximately here, and now we do have a very nice chance for a drop on the second shot. Higher wind most definitely makes you have a higher risk of rolling into the rough at the back, and that's something we do want to prevent. That's why I wanted to control and have the wind speed between 7 and 7.5 miles per hour if possible. So that is what I do believe is going to be our best chance to get ourselves a consistent look at the Albatross here. Apocalypse level 6 plus is what we do recommend as a driver. On the second shot, you either do a fringe check where the fringe meets the green at the back, or sorry, fringe meets the fairway, not the green, or you're doing a rings from min. It's up to you to do what you want. So we're gonna play no spin, and we're gonna play from +1 back fringe check, or we're gonna play rings from min. That's 8 rings I'm pushing up, which is 8% slider plus 25% elevation P5, and I'm using the +1 at the back fringe check as also to be the base with 8% slider plus 25% elevation P5 numbers. Center the ball, hit perfect, and this is going to be a very good chance to get a drop here with a little tricky wind here off tee.
Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Expert Division with the qualifying round wind here for the Star Spangled Tournament in Golf Clash the Game. Make sure to get the best guides on the market for Pro, Expert or Master bundled together. Choose some tour play guides as well, especially now with the new course rotation. We are on it. Scan the QR code or go directly through the link patreon.com/golfclashtommy in the description down below. Thank you once again for watching, and good luck in the Golf Clash game.